wonder why bitches wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. How can I maintain with madness on my brain? I resort to moving silence like you don't know what I silence. New York so wild, my dogs is with it. You want it? Come and get it. Took it, then we split it. Damn right we did it. What you gon' do when we run up on you? Messing with the wrong crew. Don't know what we going through. I'ma have to show how easily we. Let me find out there's some more that's running with Joe. Nothing we can't handle. Break it up and dismantle. Light it up like a candle. Just cause I can't stand you. Put my on tapes like you busting grapes. Think you holding weight and you haven't met the apes. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, slow, that's how Rough Riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Yo, it's y'all people crazy? Be Reazy, stop acting like a baby. Mind your business, lady. Nosy people get it too. When you see me spit at you, you know I'm trying to get rid of you. Yeah, I know it's pitiful. That's how get down. Watch my get round. Make you suckers kiss ground. Just for talking. Oh, you think it's funny? Then you don't know me, money. It's about to get ugly. Whatever, dog, I'm hungry. I guess you know what that means. Come up off that ravine. Don't make it a scene. Give a dog a bone. Leave a dog alone. Let a dog roam and he'll find his way home. Home of the brave. My home is the cave. And yo, I'm a slave to my home is the grave. I'ma pull papers. It's all about the papers. Caught the vapors and now they wanna. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Man, look what you done started. Act for it and you got it. Had it, should've shot it. Now you're dealing departed. Get at me, dog, that I rip. This one here, I flip. No, when I kick, gonna be some slick. What would that look for when I walked in the door? Oh, you thought you was raw? Cause now you on the floor. Wishing you never saw me walk through that door. With that. Now it's time for bed. Two more today. Got the floor blow. Yeah, that. Another unsolved mystery. It's going down in history. They never did to me. Can't get to me. Got to make a move. Got a point to prove. Gotta make them groove. Got them all like ooh. So to the next time you hear this dog rhyme, try to keep your mind on get prime. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
Yeah, thinking that it happened overnight, it didn't. In it for the long haul flight, committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, they timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight, I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, cause they timid. Look, wait. I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it. All about it till we spoke in person, don't wanna talk about it now, huh? Oh, you sound tough, toying with them, don't get wound up. How you wound up, another number in the round up. Put the town up, I built this thing up from the ground up. And if I bounce up, I get my crown stuck. Green light go, got the east side flow. I'm a giant in the space like FIFA4. All the kids sing along like E-I-O. Every time when they see my show, thinking that it happened overnight, yeah, it didn't. In it for the long haul flight, committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, they timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight, I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, cause I'm timid. Look,
esto es talento y favor and you got no skill. I got drive, baby, ustedes son roadkill. Yeah, ya te dije, no están en mi carta perder. De pequeño estoy ungido, baby, ese es mi flex. No me dieron nada por los míos, José. 360 ese deal, man, I couldn't be me. Pa' mi frequency, te frequently. Matando esto con sabor y efficiency. No gasto tiempo, waste no time, not my money. Boss, baby, CEO del LLC. Lo tengo en un pánico. Dale rápido, quiero crecer y dar más fruto, algo botánico. Lo hice bien orgánico. Tomé el maquinón. Voy subiendo como espuma y tú bajando bien titánico. On my way, I ain't built this in a day. But you know I'm here now to stay. I'm hungry, boy, I'm not here to play.
Thinking that it happened overnight, didn't. In it for the long haul flight, committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, they timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight, I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark but they don't bite, cause they timid. Look, wait.
like I'm never enough. I say I don't give up, so I keep down low. Slowly coming undone, yeah. I run in circles. Get back, get away. Watch me try hard anyway. It's so fake, self-hate's killing me. I know that I'm not that, and I'm sick of pretending. So sick of pretending. I need to run away to not be just like the others. Hide my face. No one knows it's pulling me under. Feels like I'm running more. Feels like I'm running in circles. Feels like I'm running more. Feels like I'm running in circles. I dig a hole in the earth, bury myself down low. Never speaking again, I hide beneath the surface. Get back, get away. And I can't see straight. Late nights. I'm not that. So sick of pretending. I need to run away to not be just like the others. Hide my face. No one knows it's pulling me under. Feels like I'm running more. Feels like I'm running in circles. Feels like I'm running more. Feels like I'm running in circles. Feels like I'm running in circles, yeah. Feels like I'm running in circles. So sick of pretending, no, that I'm someone or something I'm not. So I'm back where I started, falling apart. I need to run away to not be just like the others. Hide my face. No one knows it's pulling me under. Feels like I'm running more. Feels like I'm running in circles. Feels like I'm running now. It feels like I'm running in circles. Feels like I'm running in circles.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where... Out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third at about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Another run here with Benson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Here's Milton now to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Right back to him on first down. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
A gain there of 30 big ones.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid, just trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. Well, these two teams met in Vegas earlier in the season with the Raiders winning that ball game. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Benson. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. 3rd and 4. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Benson. There's a nice move. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working. I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now they'll change things up. Milton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Milton. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker. And this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. One more time with Benson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Milton. Being chased out left. And it's a fumble. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3. And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like the defense has got it. Just like his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return. And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over. Ball security eluded him. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 10. Now Milton. Rolling to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Milton. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Benson. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give left side for Benson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2nd and 10. To throw is Milton. Out to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 13 yards out. And the Raiders are able to add on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They got to take care of business first.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 6. To throw, here's Nix. Looking left sideline, it's complete.
Love the teacher.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Denver. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball. One that they want to fix immediately.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
No, going to. He wants to go to the last.
For a Denver touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And it leads down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On the handoff, Benson running right. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. On first down, it's Benson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Bring the safety down. Told you about that.
Back of the end zone.
Told you about bringing the safety down. Don't bring the safety down. Don't bring the safety down.
With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Nix from the shotgun. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And now they'll audible to something else. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
Let it go.
Let it go. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A give. Here comes Benson. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10. Looking to throw. Milton working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Timeout game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Off play action. Milton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw again. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action here on first down. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. A give up the middle with Benson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Milton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I tell you what, 3rd and 10, you look over, And you've got that punt team getting loose on the sideline, so that puts added importance on this play. You certainly don't want to see them on the field. And after a couple of incompletions, third time's the charm as they get the hook up here and pick up the first down.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 80 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now it's Nix. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Off the play fake. Milton.
I like the cheating over there.
Throw left side,
I like the cheating over there. They got you so scared you taking the safety out the play.
Before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
Cheat
A lot of times the key is
seems
just
like
get
I
him the
wide
ball, let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that.
Sometimes you gotta lose yourself to find yourself again. Welcome back, Marlena.
One for the money and one for the homies. I move with respect, I don't need nothing on me. The Father may wait for me, bitches like Bronny. I got my little belly, my blessings, they on me. They rain, yeah, you see how I'm coming. Come on. This sound like he drumming. I reach on my goals like my nephew be dope. Back on the rims, riding on rims. Came in all black to that, I came back to my to that. Ripping no Cadillac, feel like a Cadillac. Nothing but class, it's never been average, never been on. Averix on me, I'm tougher than homie Javante. The fight is my mantra, I want it, I will. Get you a wheel, they carry it. We fighting a lead, my is all. I'm back in my bag, I'm back in my bag on God. My bag on God. Back in my duffel, don't fear no opponent. You know I'm gon' hustle like rubber band on it. Counting my blessings, I'm laughing like Jonah. You don't wish me well, I guess you don't know me. Got all these like Malcolm and Sadie. That's word to my mama, tatted on my body. My left arm, they ain't left arm, they still doing harm. Bodies on bodies, cried over Malcolm, I cried over Dolphin. I'm crying for Nipsey, been feeling like Lauren. Carried the cross, got the sun in my eyes. Groom for this, I ain't meant to be no bride. I'm married, but I know you still feel obliged. Bounce on these, I learned from Sanaa. Back in my bag, and it's big as a duffel. With blessings on blessings, I came through this struggle, I'm back.
I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag on God. I'm
came through the thunder, I push through the pain. I'm laughing at summer, my hair was way hotter. I feel like a starter. Escape with my truth, I came back like Nirvana. Road is all rocky, it's nothing I real. Go back to back, baby, can't no one here see us. Stomach it all tied, look like a Leah. Went back and forth and back, just like a cornerback. Yeah, yeah, you got veins. I respect whole veins, tell them get low, man. Just flying high, I gave them low, man. Super the color the whip. Culinary on my wrist, cooking you, I ain't forgot what you did. State of it all, eventually falls. Frequency, this is the ship, I'm home.
I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag on guard. I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag on guard. I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag on guard. I'm back in my bag. I'm back in my bag on guard.
Feel like I'm never enough. I say I don't give up, so I keep down low. Slowly coming undone, yeah. I run in circles. Get back, get away. But watch me try hard anyway. It's so fake, self-hate's killing me. I know that I'm not that, and I'm sick of pretending. So
business. This is highly recommended. It's for all of my pushing the limit. Mile high got me over here for the flight attendant.
Yeah, I've been around the world and and seen them things that I can't buy. See, reaching these type of heights that come with a third eye. I'm better at betting on me. The numbers don't lie.
That's how we rollin'. You know them gold diggers. Want to pick of the litter, burying them hidden figures. I keep them triple hitters. Call them silverback gorillas going 8-8. And you know ain't nobody.
What up? Showtime. Yeah, this is the big ticket. Culture Cop Town. I'm talking that King Richard. This like a movie. I'm seeing the bigger picture. These fellas are Cinderellas. I'm crushing them glass slippers.
On sight, I give you the green light. It's all bark. We all bite.
You gambling with your life? Let's roll the dice.
Don't be some problems if this dog in a fight.
That's right.
Baby, I'm just trying to get
Legendary.
Open them wide.
Something like that.
Mind if I pull up with a few?
We can't arrange that.
Dropping out of the blue.
You know what? That.
All I wanna do is and just take your money. All I wanna do is and just take your money.
Hip hop took this globe.
We done did it.
Wanna see a mogul? We showing you how to pivot. Got this from DMC. Let's run with it. Took the fundamentals and having some fun with it.
These songs, King Kong, my team strong. Godzilla set fire to whatever I breathe on. Got the killers in choir all singing my theme song.
I could never do this alone. Still Dre, still on top, still got it. The Sonic still iconic, they still the product. I seen the money coming, I showed you that I'm a prophet.
And I'm riding shotgun in case get out of pocket. Why you wanna press the issue? You need to stop and keep a lawyer on retainer for depositions and dockets. Back to the topic in case you forgot it. Anonymous head bobbing, baby, keep that popping.
Baby, I'm just trying to get
Legendary.
Open them wide.
Something like
Mind if I pull up with a few?
we can't arrange that.
Dropping out of the blue.
You know what? That.
All I wanna do is and just take your money. All I wanna do is and just take your money. I said, okay, loser. We go way back, I won't say okay, boomer. Sweet, I brush my teeth, but still my tooth hurt. You cannot come to the cookout, get your hand up at the cooler. She was in my seat, I had to scoot her. She was at her knees, I had to boot her. She just left the team like we ain't knew her. She just left the team like, okay, loser. Okay, loser. I ain't out on my lonesome. They want me to loan some. I made a fortune. They can't let that go none. I'm doing so much that costs a shoulder. I don't blow it all on a VVS boulder. I put the verse in the cheat. I put the girl in the top teeth. Rock on my hand, make the rock wanna flop to the stands, cause my eye always watching. I said, okay, loser. We go way back, I won't say okay, boomer. Sweet, I brush my teeth, but still my tooth hurt. You cannot come to the cookout, get your hand up at the cooler. She was in my seat, I had to scoot her. She was at her knees, I had to boot her. She just left the team like we ain't knew her. She just left the team like, okay, loser. Okay, loser. And I say loser. Why the always coming out the woodwork? Don't know why she mad, cause ain't nothing I did to her. She just out here plotting on my, I call her steward. She the lowest, she so down and out of sewer. Growed up, back your age, you immature. Maybe one day you gon' create some allure. Maybe one day you'll be great and go on tour. Like me, hey, okay, loser. We go way back, I won't say okay, boomer. Sweet, I brush my teeth, but still my tooth hurt. You cannot come to the cookout, get your hand up at the cooler. She was in my seat, I had to scoot her. She was at her knees, I had to boot her. She just left the team like we ain't knew her. She just left the team like, okay, loser. Okay, loser, ay.
Yeah, thinking that it happened overnight. It didn't. In it for the long haul flight. Committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite. I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite. They timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight. I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite, cause I'm timid. Look, wait. I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it. All about it till we spoke in person. Don't wanna talk about it now, huh? Oh, you sound tough. Toying with them, don't get wound up. How you wound up? Another number in the round up. Put the town up. I built this thing up from the ground up. And if I bounce up, I get my crown stuck. Green light go. Got the east side flow. I'm a giant in the space like FIFA. All the kids sing along like EIO. Every time when they see my show. Thinking that it happened overnight. Yeah, didn't. In it for the long haul flight. Committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite. I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite. They timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight. I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite, cause I'm timid. Look,
Esto es talento, we favor and you got no skill. I got drive, baby, ustedes son roadkill. Yeah, ya te dije, no están en mi carta perder. De pequeño estoy ungido, baby, ese es mi flex. No me dieron nada por lo mío, José. 360 is your deal, man, I couldn't be me. Pa' mi frequency, te frequently. Matando esto con sabor y efficiency. No gasto tiempo, waste no time, not my money. Boss, baby, CEO del LLC. Lo tengo en un pánico. Dale rápido, quiero crecer y dar más fruto, algo botánico. Lo hice bien orgánico. Tomé el maquinón. Voy subiendo como espuma y tú bajando bien titánico. Out my way, I ain't built this in a day. But you know I'm here now to stay. I'm hungry, boy, I'm not here to play.
thinking that it happened overnight. Didn't. In it for the long haul flight. Committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite. I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite. They timid. Thinking that it happened overnight, but it didn't. In it for the long haul flight. I'm committed. Wanted me to fail out of spite, but I didn't. All bark, but they don't bite, cause they timid. Look, wait.
I caught you red-handed, red lips on some it ain't mine. I should call it off of where we're standing. Cause girl, you and I don't wanna waste my time. Looking in your eyes, baby, I don't even see you. Running around like you don't even wanna be. I know the story, baby, I wanna confess you. I got one question, what would you do to you? Would you love you, would you leave you out to dry? Would you lie, say that running don't cross your mind? And tell me, baby, would you drive you crazy? What would you do? What would you do to you? Knowing you set the whole damn house on fire. Knowing you wouldn't let you make it out alive. For you blame me, tell me that you hate me. What would you do? What would you do to you? Tell me honestly, if you practice honesty, would you tell the world that you're everything I thought you'd be? Would you take you back? Would you cut you loose? If you were wearing these boots, baby, what would you do to you? Would you love you? Would you leave you out to dry? Would you lie, say that running don't cross your mind? And tell me, baby, would you drive you crazy? What would you do? What would you do to you? Knowing you set the whole damn house on fire. You make it out alive, for you blame me. Tell me that you hate me. What would you do? What would you do to you? Looking in your eyes, baby, I don't even see you. Running around like you don't even wanna be. I know the story, baby, I wanna confess you. I got one question, what would you do to you? Would you love you, would you?
Opened in 2001, it lies on the same site and retains the name of the city's beloved former stadium. We're here at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Time for teams to start making moves towards the postseason. Here we go in Week 11. And he mishit this one badly. Short of the 40, and they're going to take over at that spot. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Working quickly here. Trying again, following the sack. He lets one fly deep downfield. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down.
You know, I love this, Kate, from an offense. Just philosophically, stretching that secondary out with your tight end. Even still, one of the deeper targets you're going to see him get. It's a shame they couldn't quite connect.
Caught by the open man. At the 20. And he runs it all the way inside the red zone before going out. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Bates' kick is up and good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Return coming from the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27.
Now you run it back, I get to the 30.
No, you're not seeing things incorrectly, folks. You do not need glasses. They are, in fact, lining up to punt on 1st down. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. That punt goes 63 yards. And it'll be Raider football. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Let me get to 39. Here we go.
On the ground, this is Trey Benson. He gets it forward for a gain
Let
of
me
3.
get to the 39.
Tackle made by J.C. Horn. Offense in the hurry up here.
Here we go. Get to the 39. Get to the 39.
Here's 2nd and 7. Makes the grab in bounds left side. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the 1st.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
To throw, Milton. He's on the move. He can run it.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right, and even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the 1st down.
Second down now, 7 to go. Benson on the counter. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
They're set up at the 35 now. Here's Milton. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now they face second down.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along the route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Handoff headed left to Benson. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
They're now set for first and 10. Benson once more. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. They give on second to Benson. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4.
Great, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Turning to Benson on 3rd. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Offense up to the line fast. Play action on first down. This throw is cut. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Give now to Benson. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Milton. And he's in. Touchdown! The Raiders stretch their early lead to 9. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. Point after up and good from Bates. And the Raiders go up 10-zip here in the first. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Returning it from the 4. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check go.
Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
65-6.
Nicks off the play action. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it's 3rd down.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here.
Ready? 19 tight. 19 tight. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
Nix from the gun. Throwing the out route complete. And he'll get this up close to the 40 before going out. Give him 13 on that play. And the Broncos will have a first down. New set of downs for him at the 38. On first down, they'll run. And he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have second down and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Second and 3 now. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line.
No gain on the play. It's third down and 4.
That's the end of... We're back, and it is Broncos football as we resume. They'll have it third and 3.
Tiger. 19 Tiger.
That one's out and cut on the right side. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Ryan Wright on to punt. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. He broke 50 on his first punt and looks to have done the same here. That's taken on the 7. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. And it'll be their football. They're out and set, first and 10. Takes the handoff, now to throw. Oh, he put some heat on this deep, big gain downfield. Into the red zone. He does it, touchdown. The Raiders keep their drive alive and reach Pater one play later. Bates tacks on the extra point. And the Raiders take a 3-possession lead. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Here's a return from the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. They'll get this drive started. First and 10.
Alert! Alert! Go!
Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Working quickly here. Play action with Nix.
Oh, got him.
Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted.
Baited him. Baited him.
And the Raiders
Baited
will take
him.
over as he records his first interception of our season. Well, Brock, they could have gone run to set up third and short, or they could air it out and try for more. They picked the latter, and the coverage was ready for it.
Sure was, Kate, and this is why I play in this position. You've got to have a short memory. You must flush it. I love the decision to be aggressive. I always fall on that side of the coin, but when you throw a pick in that situation, such a manageable second down, well, you got to learn from it, move on, and certainly flush it away.
2nd and 3. Forced out to his right. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play.
Yeah, we did. He gave me my 3. We started off. I wanted all my stats. I knew he couldn't beat me.
A give left side to Benson. And they bring him down pretty quickly at the 10. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Staying on the ground with Benson.
Knew he couldn't beat me. I wanted all my stats.
Las Vegas. The Raiders parlay the interception into points. Trey Benson, the touchdown. Point after up and good from Bates. And the Raiders make it a 24-point ball game. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Fielded at the 7. Big lick from the coverage team there. That's going to stop the return before it can get to the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Defense doubled him, knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. A bit surprising. Quarterback still threw in that direction with how well that defense had that play covered.
Nix again on 2nd and 10.
Oh.
And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Nix. And that's a win for the pass rush.
This gonna get it.
Leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
Gonna get it.
On again comes Ryan Wrights for another punt. And he'll try to hit this one well. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. We don't get a return out of that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up.
Yes.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It goes for a 38-yard pickup. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
He's running plays.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Nice cut back to the right sideline.
Just running plays.
They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Gosh, I love that creativity of the play call. Name of the game is putting the ball in the hands of your best, your playmakers, creating matchups for them to take advantage. And this time, not as a receiver, but as a runner.
He just dived. He just dived, guy.
The Raiders are running away with it in the 2nd quarter. Trey Benson, the touchdown.
He just dived, guy.
Bates tacks on the extra point. And the Raiders grow their lead yet again. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. He fields it from the 8. They'll bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now Nix. Got a man, it's Marvin Mims. And what a hit there. Ouch, she faced the price for moving the chains that time. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Fits it through the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That's a 38-yard play for him to move the sticks.
Just about every offense since the beginning of time, since the forward pass, Kate, has loved a tight end that can stretch the middle of the field. Man, I remember as a kid watching Kellen Winslow Sr. dice up right here between the hashes. And what a difference it can make for an offense.
And he can't reel it in. Incomplete.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Nix. The throw is caught. And he drives this forward to the 6.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Pass right side complete. It's a Denver touchdown. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock. But I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off, and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, Kate. It kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. Great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
Right, ready to send this one away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 30-yard line.
First and 10 now from the 30.
They so
and off to Benson to start the drive.
They so skewed.
And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
2nd and 10 now. Got a man. Robinson has it. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Offense in the hurry up here. They go play action on 1st. Big catch is made, and he got the feet in too. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Get that big play, dog.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him, only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
This ball's cut by Bowers. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock,
They
and it
don't
gets him
want
a
them
1st
big
down.
play.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Benson on 1st and 10. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
You'd make it sound.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
2nd down now, 7 to go.
Let's go now.
To throw, Milton. Escapes the pocket. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Try and get that one to Brock Bowers. And now it's third down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Good blocking, fellas.
That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with first and goal.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Benson can't push it across. They make the stand. It looks like they might have stopped him a little bit behind the line, too.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react.
And he hauls it across for the Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders get more points to end a lopsided first half. Trey Benson, the touchdown. His third of the game on the ground. That one splits the uprights. And the Raiders continue piling on to this lead. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Kickoff taken at the 3.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
We'll see how they choose to use these final 22 seconds, Brock, of our first half.
Let's go.
Throwing on first down, Nix. Oh, this is getting ugly early. Intercepted again. Trayvon Merrick has it.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful, right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense, and this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
That is incomplete. Down to 13 seconds left. Looking for his wide receiver there. And now it's second down. Now he'll throw off the play fake. He throws a bullet deep to their... And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Watson. And the Broncos get the football back with minimal time to go in our half. Well, no doubt there was some doom and gloom on the sideline following their interception, right? But a little bit of new life now as their defense picks them up, gets it right back for them.
Hey, I am all for a nice little game of one-upmanship between these 2 defenses. You picked our guy off, fine. We'll answer right away. See how you follow that up.
So we're through 2 quarters now, still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. His return starts at the 5. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35.
We don't always know what's said there at halftime, Kate, in the locker room. Some of the adjustments offensively and defensively, but I can assure you the special teams coach pulled his kick return team aside and said, listen, we have a chance here down double digits to spark this game. Let's go out and get a great return to set the offense up for success. And that's exactly what they did.
That one goes for 25 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Nix with it on first. Buys time, rolling right. Oh, look at this, here he goes. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right, they win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
Chased out to his right. He's keeping it again. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
It's a gain of 16 yards.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. Taking a deep shot there on first down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
Again on 2nd and 10, Nix. He's on the move. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle. Offense up to the line fast. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete beyond the marker. Touchdown, Denver! Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive.
And he goes down, the pressure gets home, and they will not take another 2 off that lead. Right, ready to send this one away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 30-yard line.
First and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go now.
They'll try it right with Benson. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. The dose of the hurry-up offense here. Here's 2nd and 11. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
3rd and long for him here. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down. Now the Raiders readying for the punt. And they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. And he wasn't needed at all in the first half, partner. This is going to be his first punt. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. That's taken at the 15. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Got every single bit of that one, didn't he? Over 70 yards on the punt. And the Broncos get set to take over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Nix off the play action. Flushed out of the pocket. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
You hear so many programs all around the league talk about it's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. And right there, he understood it's all about the ball, and I'm not going to risk a turnover wisely, throwing it away.
Trap 60. Let's go.
Throwing once again on 2nd and 10. Connects with his back, Jaleel McLaughlin. 16 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him, turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jack Jones has got it. And the Raiders get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
There's some serious self-scouting going on right now. What is this quarterback not seeing that has led to these 3 interceptions in just this game? And then overall, what is this offense doing that has this defense clued in coverage-wise to every route combination they're trying to throw?
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Got a man, Bowers has it. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out.
Get off that safety, man. Don't play on the safety when you play against him. Stay off the safety. When you play against me, don't touch the safety.
This is utter domination. Going to be a lot of questions to be answered. I'm going to guess this is a press conference the coach isn't looking forward to.
Point after, up and good from Bates. And the Raiders tack on 7 more to their lead. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Starting from the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. That throw comes up short. Need a little more muscle on that one. Looking for the back that time. And it sets up 2nd down.
19 tight. Shut up.
Play action with Nix. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why. And
it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
He's got it over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. Shotgun snap to Nix. On the move, headed right. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. Rather than force something with no one open and risk a turnover, he wisely just threw it away.
Escapes out to the left. He just throws this one away.
Look at how well the coverage held up on that play. Even as the QB escapes the pocket and buys extra time, the secondary, well, they got real sticky, stay tight, and force the throw away.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Called in left side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
19 light. Let's go now.
Throwing it again here. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call.
Let's go.
They'll throw again. Nix. The back grabs it. It's a Denver touchdown. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock. Getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game.
Yeah.
That's well done.
And the pass is the right call on the two-point try, but we've got laundry on the field, so let's listen. Offense liked how that play went, so they choose to decline the penalty. Right, ready to send this one away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Ready.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Set, ready. Cowboy 80. 7 Pirates.
Back to throw. Here's Milton. It is caught left side. Now he's past the 25. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
They say I can't pay. They say I can't pay.
That catch while earning the 1st down. That's called yards after catch.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal.
Hey, smash Bronco. Go.
They'll run here. It's Benson. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Working quickly here. Another try for Benson. And here's another stop made right at the line. Nice back-to-back reps from this defense.
Go, Rick. Go.
3rd and goal for Benson. And he's in for the touchdown. The Raiders keep running away with this. Trey Benson, the touchdown. His 4th total score of the game. Raiders leaving the offense out there. They want to add 2 more to that touchdown. And right back into the end zone he goes. So one play, it's a touchdown. Then the next for 2, and he's extending their lead. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Has this at the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Panther 11. Set up.
Nix from the gun. Completed to his running back. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And the Broncos will have a 1st down. Just one play into this drive, and they're already sitting on their own 45. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. That's incomplete left side.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
Here we go. Go.
Blown back, it's the handoff. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Offense in the hurry up here.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Throw on 3rd down. Finds Mims. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be good for a Denver 1st.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Bails out of the pocket quick. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away.
Look at the coverage on that play, Kate. I love that. That is textbook defense right there. When the quarterback escapes the pocket, man, you got to find somebody. You got to go get sticky on your offensive guy. That's exactly what the secondary did, and it forces the throwaway.
Has it at the 7. Touchdown, Denver. Carson Mevis on to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos still trail by a lot. It's a 26-point differential. Right, ready to send this one away. And it's fielded but not returned for the end zone, so the ball's going to be placed at the 30-yard line. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Back him up. Reazy.
A give up the gut to Benson. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Here we go, 2nd and 9.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You take the
Makes
ball
the
out.
grab and
That's
bounds
crazy.
left side. And he's going to get past the 40 before he goes out. That one goes for 31 yards and a 1st down when all is said and done.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside. Look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helped set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Milton. Complete out to the right. And they get this down to the 28. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
To throw, Milton. Rolling left, buying some time. He's on the move.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm. Especially in a situation like that, it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
And he'll get them enough for a 1st down. They go play action here. Rolling out to his left. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. But 2nd down coming up. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Offense up to the line fast. They'll throw on 3rd and long. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that brings up 4th and long.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
Bates' kick is up and good. That brings us to the 2-minute warning here in Denver. Raiders approaching win number 7 on the year. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And look at this return. They track him down, but a nice return in the end there, Brock. He's up to the 38. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Nicks off the play action. Headed out right. Short pass caught by his tight end. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Gotta hurry this to the line. From the 44 here on 2nd down. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. That one gains 7. And the Broncos will have a first down. Nix. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Excellent pickup to move the chains. 36 yards in the end. What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Nix now to throw. Completed over the middle. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
It's a Denver touchdown. The Broncos will go for 2 again. He's throwing for it. And he is going to get in. That's going to cut a couple more off of that lead. Right, ready to send this one away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. It's Benson on the give. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Wow, they're going to pass it here. He rolls to his right. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do on that play. Felt the pressure and escapes the pocket. After that, it's on somebody downfield to get open and give him a target. No one did, and he simply has to get rid of it.
And that is incomplete. 8 seconds left now.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's go now.
Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. They don't connect there, and now just 3 seconds showing on the clock.
Well, that's when you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last second attempt to get rid of it.
All right, one more snap to play here. They'll run. It's Benson. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. So it's a road win for the Raiders in this one. And they take the first skirmish with their division rivals, with a chance at a sweep awaiting them later in the year in their building. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Raiders winners, as we'll see you next time from Denver.